continuing our bare minimum groundwork series, and we're going to work on backing relaxed with your head down. There's going to be 3 different ways that we're going to look at backing this horse up. We're going to use steady pressure, herding pressure with the stick and our shoe, and then we're going to shoe him back with the rope. I'm going to teach you how I do it, how I use it, and why I say that I hate that, and where you can go wrong with that technique, in my opinion. But what we're going to look at is, can I press nose, neck, shoulder, ribs, hip, and build up to one day that I could just grab him and go, get back there, and have him go, oh, I guess that was important. Oh. If I can do that from the front of his nose, maybe I could also do it from down here. I'd like to be able to push with a stiff arm. Now, if we're going to herd him backwards using our driving or herding energy, I have the stick and I want to be able to say it's not over there, okay, and it's not over there. And I start to get this pivot point in the middle with my hand here, and that can herd his nose, not right or left, but back, okay? And if I can put my focus on driving that nose down, back, and in first, I'll get my flexion first and then have the feet move. And once we can have those blocks working, they'll start finding more and more comfort sliding backwards to where we can do less and less there, and we'll get more relaxation. None of these things on the bare minimum list is about the task. It's all about a way to read where is our horse mentally and emotionally, so we can start to see some of the physical outcomes. Okay, it's a measuring tape, measuring stick. In the beginning, it's big picture, getting him thinking about backwards, and then we can start to fine tune that communication, that it goes from his nose, through his neck, down to the feet. Left, right, left, right, left, right. Not turning, left, right, left, right. Good. Much better. Another way that can be really helpful to build distance to our backing and have good quality or communication, let's say, is wiggling the rope. The technique where I learned that and saw that was through the Parelli program. There's lots of different people. Heck, even Buck Brannaman shakes the rope to shoe a horse back. Okay. We want to be careful with how we do this. The technique as it was taught was 4 phases, okay, so that it was progressive, as little as possible, much as necessary. The way that was taught was wiggle your finger. There's a joint right there. There's a joint at your wrist. Wiggle your wrist. Okay, and if the horse starts to take a step back, you would quit. Release on the slightest try. The problem that we have run into is there's lots of people that are stuck releasing on the slightest try of 1 step after 10 years of doing this. That's not the slightest try anymore. It's only the slightest try the first time. After that, 1 step is the same old thing. So we got to build it up and be progressive. If we do wiggle the finger, wiggle the wrist, wiggle the elbow, wiggle the whole arm, okay, those were the phases that got taught to get a horse to understand that you could have backed when I wiggled my finger. Good boy. And you can have that change where you life up, wiggle the finger, wiggle the wrist, wiggle the elbow, get ready for the whole arm. He starts to shift back, we're going to back off it. Wiggle the finger, wiggle the wrist, wiggle the elbow, wiggle the whole arm. Now, he took half a step back, but that was the same old thing now. It's not being progressive. Wiggle the finger, wiggle the wrist, wiggle the whole arm. He didn't get back. The slightest try is not that. There's a step, there's a step, there's a step. Now we have some rhythm. 3 steps in a row. We can do the same thing we did with the stick, talking to each foot. You see people, they are doing this thing, and this is their horse. Backwards. Oh, so slow. What if every foot, don't make me, boop your nose. Left foot, right foot. Left foot, don't make me vroom it. Left foot, right foot. Left foot, right foot. Left foot, right foot. Left foot. What if every wiggle talked to a foot? So when you wiggled that fast, their feet were running backwards. Let's also talk about flexion. When we do this, what did his head do? It went in the air. That's yucky. So let's instead make sure that when we're wiggling this, that we have a way to go, hey, shape up. So that this wiggle starts to mean tuck your chin. Atta boy. For this bare minimum, I want you to be able to back your horse, relax with her head down. Steady pressure, hurting pressure with the stick. Okay, and then we could do hurting pressure with the rope. I think we covered all the pieces. Backing, relaxed with the head down. We got one last piece to go, horse burpees, and you're going to catch that in the next video. All right, I'm Jake, this is Rubicon, we're at Pear Tree Ranch, and we'll see you next time.